Okay, let us continue with the gem target address calculation. Okay, so as part of the instruction, we will get only 26 bits. If you recollect the J-type instruction format, the immediate field is having 26 bits. So here we have to do some processing to make the 26 bit as a 32-bit address. So what we do is we do not change the upper 4 bits of the PC. Upper 4 bits have to be retained as such. So remember, PC is a 32-bit register. So we keep the retain the upper 4 bits. So how many bits are remaining? We have 28 bits remaining. That 28 bits has to be filled up using the 26-bit address we got from the jump instruction. It's very simple. What we do is we left shift the 26 bits by 2 bits to make it as a word address. So 26-bit address left shifted by 2, we will get 28 bits. That 28 bits will be odd. This vertical line is called bitwise odd with this quantity. So let us see what is this quantity. This is the old PC value which is getting bitwise ANDed with a pattern. So if you look at this pattern is special. It has got the higher 4 bits as 1. Rest of the bits are zeros. So the result of ANDing this pattern to this PC will be retain the first 4 bits as such, and all other 28 bits will be made as 0. I repeat, first 4 bits of the PC will be retained and all remaining 28 bits will be made as zeros. To that you are adding or ORing this quantity. What is this quantity? This is the 28-bit version of the 26-bit address. So when 28-bit quantity is bitwise odd with a 32-bit quantity whose first 4 bits are 1, the net result will be a 32-bit value which is going to be assigned to the PC. Now at your disposal you have 26 bits which gets multiplied by 2 to make it as a byte boundary, and that is used. So this value 26-bit address puts a restriction on the region up to which you can jump. So that will be shown with the help of a diagram. So first let us see how this this is working. So from the lower order 26 bits of the MIPS instruction, we left shift by 2. That means we add 2 zeros here. So that value is concatenated with the upper 4 bits of the PC. So you get the whole 32-bit value. That 32-bit value will be loaded into the PC. Okay, so PC gets modified and that value goes for decoding the instruction. Hope it is clear. Now let us see how this is for jump instruction. Let us see for branch instruction how it happens. For branch instruction, this is how it happens. The 16-bit offset that you get from the instruction is sign extended after multiplying by 2 to make it as a 32-bit quantity. So that is fed to the adder. Okay, and the PC value also is taken. So PC value plus the offset, you get the branch destination address or the branch target address which is getting added to the PC. Now this 4 is already provided here, so that we need PC plus 4. So essentially you are adding this 32-bit quantity to PC plus 4. This line will have PC plus 4. So branch target address is equal to PC plus 4 plus the 32-bit version of the offset, which is given as part of the branch instruction. Okay. Now let us look at the ranges and how far it can jump and so on. So look at here. So you get 26 plus 2 leads signal, you get 28 bits. So 26 plus 4 plus 2, you get 32. So you can jump within a 2 power 28 address. That means 256 MB block of addresses. So you have to understand it like this. Suppose you have a jump instruction. So the jump instruction's target must fall within the 256 MB block. If your jump target is beyond that, you cannot reach there. Okay, so there are various ways to overcome that. A single jump can only go far up to 256 MB block. Suppose your target is again far ahead of that, then a single jump can be broken into 2 jumps where you can take an intermediate stop and again then jump ahead. So loader and linker must be careful to avoid placing a program across an address boundary of 256 MB. So if they keep apart from this 256 MB limit, the code will not be executed. The computer PC cannot reach there. So that's about the jumping instruction, and some more details about the instruction and some tricks that we usually use are shown here. Okay, now if you recollect the immediate instruction format, I-type format, we have got only 16-bit immediate field, correct? Now what to do if you want to load a 32-bit constant into a register? You cannot use load immediate because load immediate or load instruction will work only for 16-bit constant. Now look at here how we are loading a 32-bit quantity. So this is a 32-bit quantity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each digit here is representing 4 binary bits. So this is a 32-bit quantity in hex notation. So we want to have this quantity in register R8. How are we going to do? There is no single instruction which can do this. So we need to operate with the help of available instruction to achieve this. So first we will do load upper immediate into $A. That is upper immediate. What is the upper part of this? 3D. 3D will be loaded to the upper part. To that you are ORing 9000. So 3D when bitwise ORed with this value, you get this value. You can try it on paper and verify. And another way will be you go for load upper immediate 61 and then 2304. What is the difference between these two? They all does the same thing, but here it is denoted as a hex number 0x. Here it is a decimal number. You can easily find out that 3D is nothing but 61. So 3D is 3 into 16 plus D is 13. So 48 plus 13 will be 61. So these are the same instruction represented in one is in hexadecimal form and another one is in decimal form. That's all. So these type of questions you will get as part of the quiz. So today we have a quiz also. You need not worry. This will not be considered for assessment. This is just to be familiar with the type of questions that you are going to face. So also again some more tips on using the instruction. How do we branch if R2 is equal to 0? So you can use the 0 register. This is one use where we use the $0. We know that $0 is always 0, so you can use it in the branch instruction. Then branch if R2 is less than R3. So far we have learned branch if less than 0. So how do you compare two registers and then take a decision? So that is where we have another instruction known as SLT, set on less than. SLT works like this. It will set the register $1 if $2 is less than $3. I repeat, $S1 will be made as 1 if $2 is less than $3. So if $2 is less than 1, S1 will be 1. So branch on not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, you can jump to the location. So this will become the same. Now how do we jump to a 32-bit address? This is another way. You can load the high address and low address into the register and use JR instruction. So this also we may ask. So how do we use JR instruction to jump to a 32-bit address? So we need to load a 32-bit address into the R3. So to load a 32-bit address into R3, we use the same technique which we used earlier. High address is loaded, followed by ORing the low address. So this, if you are not clear, I request you to write it down in your book. You draw the register $8, fill it with 0x3D in the upper part, then draw the representation of 0x90 in a register, then you do a bitwise AND. You have to do this only, then you will be clear on what we are talking here. Okay, so with this our discussion on instructions, how they are represented, what are the arguments, how to use registers, etc. is ending here. Now with this, today's lecture is going to conclude. The next topic is how are we going to implement this with the help of hardware book? How do we implement branch? How do we implement load and stores? How are we going to implement R-type instructions? Everything we will see in the next class. So today we will have a quiz followed by this. It is fundamentally based on bit representation and some very fundamental ideas. I will send you the link to the quiz in the chat box. You can take the quiz. After taking the quiz, we will have a discussion on the answers of the quiz also. So I request all of you to keep writing. Simply watching, scrolling through the PDF or PPT will not help you. You have to write it down. Wherever required, pause the video, write it down and have the discussion. Okay, so let us conclude this video. Followed by there will be a discussion. Then there is a quiz. Okay, thank you.